Alright, so I want to show you this just in case this isn't working for you. So you can watch the video and pause it and then go ahead and do it. It would be best if you did something like that, or you can watch a portion of it and then pause it, whatever you want to do here. Yeah, it would be beneficial if you kind of just did it on your own, but I want to show you kind of how it works out because I was having some issues with it. So anyway, so this is what we're going to start with. I want to click off of that. And here's my unit circle here. And remember we talked about having the number line wrap around that circle. Okay, so that assigns real numbers to the circle. It's like a number line that goes around and around is what we said. And that's where the radian measures came from. So what we're going to do is take a look at this point C, which has a radian measure of 0.63. And we know that it has coordinates associated with it. And as we move this C around the circle, the spreadsheet is going to collect data for the radian measure, and then the X coordinate and the Y coordinate are going to go in those two columns. So I'm going to click here. Now I had to click twice to get it to work. And move in here and zip, there it is. So now we have all the radian measures. I went all the way around. You can see that they went into the spreadsheet here. And what we're going to do next is graph those. So I'm going to graph the radian measure here versus the X coordinate. And then we're going to graph the radian measure versus Y coordinate. So it's a little tricky to do that. So you're going to first, you want to select both of these columns, and you want to do it by up here. It's the easiest way. If you try clicking it this way, then you got to go down, and it doesn't always go down, so it's just as easy to click A and B column and select them both. Alright, now I'm going to click on this part here. Let me back this up. First you want to click over here, then you want to do the AB. Sorry about that. So then once you have those two columns, then you're going to come over to here, and it says list of points. So we want a list of points. And there they all are. We're going to create it. And there's the graph. So now I'm going to click back on here and move this a little bit. Make it a little bit smaller so you can see everything. There it is. So here is the number line. You can see these points are going this way. This is our radian here and our X coordinates. So they start up here and then they go down and bottom out and then like that. Alright, so now we're going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to graph the Y coordinates with the radian measure. So I click here first so I get these commands. Now I'm going to hit A, and I'm going to do a control on the C. Alright, so now both of these columns are highlighted, but B is not. So I think on a Chromebook, it might have, I'm not exactly sure what you press for that, but you want these two things separate. Okay? And I know I did it once, but I can't remember exactly what it was. So still, I'm going to come over here to this list of points. And there they are. And I'm going to create it. And now I have another set of list of points. So this would be radians versus the Y. It goes up, peaks, comes back down, and goes back up again. Alright. Cosine is this one. So now I'm actually going to take a look at these. So let's go ahead and I'm going to graph those. So to do that, I need to go to these three bars. Okay. Click on them. And one of the things down here is view. So I'm going to go to view. And I'm going to go to input bar right there. Alright, now way down here is input. So if I click on that, and I put Y equals cosine COS parentheses X, cosine of X, you can see that it's drawn this curve, right? This green graph. And you can barely see it because the dots go over it that we collected, the points, right? But you can see that it aligns with it perfectly. Alright, so then I want to put in Y equals Oh, I guess it didn't. I thought it took that. Let me hit enter. There we go. Y equals sine of x. Same thing. Now this one's red. Now we got some Christmas colors going here. So we got red going over the y's. Those are the y's. And the green cosine going over the x. So remember we talked about how cosine was x and sine was y. So once again, that is happening on these graphs. I'm going to take this guy and shrink it down a little bit and zoom out some more. Now when you look at this, you can see that we just got this portion here, which was just basically one rotation around the circle. But you can go forever, right? We could go around this circle for a long, long time, as you can see there. And this graph, because that it repeats, so in other words, it started here at 0, 0, and then went up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and it keeps going, and it never changes. All right, and it continues to do that at the same interval. We call this a periodic function because it repeats itself. If we go out in either direction, it's repeating itself. And it repeats itself at a separate interval. So at this interval from here to here, let's see, where was that? Right there. All right, it has repeated itself. Okay. The other function, the green one, is the same thing. It's also a periodic function because it repeats itself. And the period is the distance from here to here. All right, so that's what these are, periodic functions.